Hey, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in and watching today's video. I was wanting to share with you a new kit that I've put together for the colder weather here, the winter weather. And this is a complete cooking and water filtration kit, and it should work pretty well. I'm going to be running this winter and see how it performs, but I think the way I put it together, it should do well. Let me break it down and show you what we got. So my idea for this kit was a way for me to carry something that can filter my water no matter where I am and make it safe for me to drink, a cooking container to heat up that water, or boil water for dehydrated meals or steep coffee, whatever. And then also there's a little stove in here that will allow me to essentially have a small contained fire anywhere if I'm not able to be like here at my little base camp area with a campfire ring that I've made. So what this is it's kind of a combination of a few different pieces of gear that I've had for a while. And two of the pieces are brand new to me, but very excited and grateful to be able to use them. So this outside bag is from Campcraft Outdoors, and it is a wool sleeve, like a drawstring wool sleeve that he's made specifically for a lot of the filters out there on the market now, mainly the Grayl or bottle filters. It's got a big seam down here on the back, and then those come together and have a flat seam down here at the bottom, and the drawstrings here at the top. And what I did was I took this bag, this wool bag, and kind of built the kit around it. And I'm thinking my logic will work out. We won't know until I put this in cold weather, especially like sub-freezing, if not freezing weather. But let me get the contents out of this and show you what we're working with. So if this is, I'll tell you right off the bat, so if this is something that you're interested in doing, just know that when you add this stove, this style stove in here, it's going to be a really tight fit. And if it's cold and I've got gloves on, or if it's cold and I don't, my hands are freezing, it would seem to be pretty difficult to get all this stuff out. But what I've done is, once you loosen this wool sleeve down and just kind of roll the top down a little bit, you only have to do about that much. Then you can open up the inner drawstring bag, which I'll show you here in a second, and just kind of push this stove out like this. And then everything comes out super easy. So that's going to be kind of the first thing that I want to get to in this kit is my stove. And that's why I kind of pieced that together the way I did. This is one of the old folding firebox nano stoves. It's not the titanium, or it is a titanium one, but I've had this for many years. It is excellent. I really love it. The footprint of it is really good, and it's super durable. And this case protects the ground from all the embers and the stuff that can, fall out of the bottom when you're burning stuff. So I'm going to do a real thorough breakdown of all this in a second. I just want to show you how I unpack it. So once we get the stove out of the way, and let's say that we get our fire going and we get this thing fired up, then I can remove the inner bag from this wool sleeve and kind of discard this wool sleeve until later. I'm not going to need this until really I go to store all this. And then in this bag is the rest of the kit. This is also from Campcraft Outdoors, and this is his updated version of his canvas pre-filter bag, or his like kind of stuff sack for the Grayl filters, the GeoPress. He makes smaller ones for the different sizes. They're really handy. If you haven't used a pre-filter for the Grayl style press filters, you need to start doing it. But I digress. This is his new updated version of the pre-filter. Essentially, you'll take this canvas bag, get it wet a little bit, and then you fill up the bag with the water and hold this above the container that you press the filter through. And it traps a lot of the big debris, a lot of the sediment, and a lot of the stuff that's going to quickly take the life away from the filter if you're just dipping it in, dipping the outer cup in raw. So this is a huge help, and it also doubles as a way to carry everything. All right, so inside this pre-filter bag, I have essentially the bread and butter of the kit. I have my Grayl GeoPress, and then I have a titanium cup, and this happens to be from Wood Knot, which it's cool because it serves as a filter, like a press. So the lid, the little stem, and then inside here is your stuff to make a French press coffee. So you can also use it for tea and whatever. And all that just kind of sits in the bottom here. And then this I can store on the side with the lid underneath. And it works really well. I love this cup. I've made tons of coffee in it. You don't have to do French press. You can just steep or cowboy coffee, whatever. But I chose my older plastic GeoPress because, not that I'm afraid of the titanium one that I have, but I've just had more experience. I just kind of drilled into my head to go with plastic when it's colder. So like Nalgene bottles, and you know, it just kind of helps with freezing and cracking stuff. Again, at a certain temp, I don't have to deal with it here in Texas, but at a certain temp, everything's going to succumb to the cold. So just be sure that you're not leaving a ton of liquid in your containers. You can leave, and I've done it a few times now, you can leave water in a titanium canteen or bottle or whatever, but you can't just have it filled up all the way to the top. You got to leave room for that water to expand when it becomes ice. So this was my kit. Let me get it laid out for you so you can kind of see everything. It's pretty simple, but I think it'll work well. So here's everything all laid out. You have the wool cover that after I use my Grayl, drink it, drain the liquid out of it, I put that into the wool cover so that it's insulated at night. And then we have the wood knot press and lid. This is the little koozie that goes around it, so you can actually, because the idea is after you French press coffee with the press system here, you can put the koozie over it, and since all the grounds are pushed to the bottom, you can just drink out of it. So I keep the koozie on there just to keep the water warm. And then the filter bag, canvas bag that all this goes into, and then the Firebox nano titanium stove. So I'm gonna see how this works out for me this winter. I like the idea of everything being in one kit, and I know when I grab it, everything that I need is in there. And we'll see how it goes. I'm not gonna have a ton of instances because of where I live to deal with super cold, freezing water issues, but it definitely gets cold enough here that you've got to kind of worry about, you know, your filters and leaving too much water in your containers overnight. So hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm excited to use this new stuff and see how it goes. So thanks for watching. Remember, get outside, enjoy the woods.